All right, so we're just going to talk about the mid-segment theorem, which you guys have already learned at this point, but we're just going to go through it. So the definition of a mid-segment is if you have the midpoints of opposite sides in a triangle and you connect it, that's a mid-segment. So what you know about x and what you know about y is that it's the midpoint, right? So you also know that the mid-segment is parallel to the base of the triangle. So these two lines, they're parallel. So that means if I extend them from infinity and beyond, they're never going to intersect. They're parallel. So we also know that the mid-segment is half of the base. So if we know the base is 15, what's the mid-segment equal to? 7.5, because it's half the base. Okay, good. Now, there's another thing we can use for the mid-segment, or properties of the mid-segment, to find the ends of the triangle. Because we know x is the midpoint of DE, and we know y is the midpoint of DF. So let's say they told us that DF was 12. Let's say DF is 12. Could you deduce what YF is or what DY is?
Yes.
What would you say DY is?
6.
And how do you know that it's 6?
Because y is the midpoint.
Because y is in the middle, right? It's a midpoint. So it has to divide the segment in half, aka 6 and 6 here. Now what if they gave you a piece of information like this? dx. dx is 7. What is xe?
7.
How do you know it's 7?
Because since it's split in half, both sides are equal.
Exactly, because x is right in the middle of this segment, or this side. So that means this side has to be congruent to this side. And this side has to be congruent to this side. And then this is half of the base. Now here's another cool thing about mid-segment. So you guys understand that there's a midpoint here and a midpoint here. There's also a midpoint here, which is half. So if I were to grab this mid-segment and draw it over here, it would be in the middle, right? Or you could say that this is double. All right, so now connect those midpoints. You have this midpoint and this midpoint. So you have a triangle inside of the triangle created by the midpoints of the triangle. I'll repeat. You have a triangle inside a triangle connected by the midpoints of the triangle. Now this is the trippy part. This is really cool. So you know this is half of the base.
Yeah.
This is half and parallel to this side. So what is the length of y? Let's call this point T. What is the length of YT?
7.
7, because it's half of that base, or half of that side, which is 7. Hey, that's pretty cool. Now what about this one?
It's 6.
It's 6, because it's parallel to this side, and it's also half of this side. Whoa. So we have a 7.5, 7, and 6 triangle. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you another example. Let's say we have a triangle that's like this. Okay, I'm trying to draw a nicer triangle. And we're told that the mid-segment is 2x, and that the base is x plus 6. All right, so let's say you have those midpoints, and then you have this fact right here, and you have that is x. And then you have that this is 3x. Now, it's obviously not going to be to scale. I'm just making an example up right here, okay? And let's say the question wants you to find, let me label these. Y, let's say this is z, and let's say this point is O, okay? So this is x plus 6, this is x, this is 3x, this is 2x. And we're going to base our question on the knowledge that YZ is the mid-segment, all right? So we know that the mid-segment is half of the base, or we could say this times 2 equals this. So 2x times 2 equals x plus 6. Because you know 2 of these is equal to the base. So I have 2x times 2, because there's 2 of these, equal 1 of those. Now I can easily solve that and get 4x equals x plus 6. Subtract x from both sides. You get 3x equals 6. If you solve for x, you get x equals 2. Cool. So now that I found what x was, I can find what this is, which is 2 plus 6, and that's 8. So this side is 8. This is 2 x's, which is 4. And this is x, which is 2. And this is 3 x's, which is 6. And then I can figure out this right here, because this is equal to the midsegment. That's 2. This is also 2. This side is 4. This side is 8. Now what is this side? What is this right here, guys? This entire thing is 12, but this is what? 6 and 6. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, so now you have an edulastic that's basically all of this. And you're probably going to have like at least 2 questions on your mini assessment Friday on mid-segment theorem. So do your work.